Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with Game Vault. We're going to talk about Warhammer 4K. This is a tabletop game, I guess, originally, that has morphed into tons of video games, and there's all kinds of lore behind it, and people love this. I believe Amazon's doing a TV show on it, and it's been on the radar quite a bit. I haven't really talked about it too much, but we're going to talk about a couple different aspects of it today, just some stuff about it. I'm not very familiar with this game, so forgive my ignorance over the overall lore and all that of it. I'm just going to report on what I can see here, and if you guys want to give me some feedback in the comments, feel free to, because I'd love to know more about it. This is one of those games that I look out there at the video games that are available, and there's so many that I'm just intimidated. I'm like, where do I start, and do I even want to start? Is this something I'll enjoy? Is it too geared toward the players of the tabletop game that I'm just going to feel lost because I never played the tabletop game? I don't know. Well, let's cue up the music and we'll get right into it. Alright, so Warhammer 4K Space Marine 2 claims to have no microtransactions, but features Season Pass and paid cosmetic options. I don't understand what I just read there. So a paid cosmetic option is literally a microtransaction, but we'll dig a little deeper here and then we'll talk about my thoughts on this. So, developers for the upcoming Warhammer 4K game, blah, 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 only paid cosmetics. In a blog post uploaded to the game's Steam page, developers for the game outlined the three types of game modes the game offers, including the campaign mode, a co-op 3v PvE mode, 3-player PvE mode, and a 6 versus 6 multiplayer PvP mode. For those of you who aren't familiar, PvE is like you group together, it's player versus environment, where you're playing against the enemies and the bad guys and all that in the game. PvP is player versus player. On top of announcing these three game modes, the post declares, "We want Space Marine 2 to be an experience tailor-crafted for all players. Hence, we're happy to confirm that there aren't any microtransactions in Space Marine 2, no in-game cash shop, all gameplay content and features will be free to all players. Any paid DLCs will be cosmetic only." So this is semantics, really. There are microtransactions in the games. They should never have said that. Now, they could easily say, all microtransactions are only cosmetic, which is fine. They could say, there's no pay-to-win microtransactions in the game, and by pay-to-win, I mean you can't buy something that's going to increase your XP gain for a period of time or give you, extra abilities in battle or a better weapon or anything like that. No, it's only cosmetic. And you know what? I'm cool with that, personally. Focus Entertainment's brand manager, Sylvain Leroux, confirmed on PC Games and that the game will have a season pass, but it will be purely cosmetic and will be delivered in several phases. Furthermore, he added that everything you'll get in the passes is purely cosmetic again. All of the gameplay additions, whether it's new missions or new enemies, all of that will come free to all players. So at a time when a lot of games have extras, microtransactions to them, or pre-order bonuses, season passes, battle passes, stuff like that, this isn't the worst of what I've seen out here. Now, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I mean, cosmetics are cosmetics, right? You don't have to have them to play the game. You don't have to have them to be better. You're not going to win or lose a game based off of what you look like in the game, right? That's just not the way it is. Whether you've got the green armor, the blue armor, the yellow armor, it doesn't matter. You're going to win based off of your skill. But, this plays with the psychology of the gamer, and the gamer is typically someone that wants everything, right? Gamers want everything in a game. When you play a game, you go out there, you loot everything, you check every corner, you open every box. You want to get, and we've been tailored to this since the beginning of gaming as it's slowly pushed us this direction, and now it's being monetized on us, which is kind of funny. But if you look back at it, trophies and all that. Now, not all gamers are like this, right? I'm not a trophy hound or anything like that. I'll get them when I can. If it's If it's too much aggravation, and I'm like, I really don't want it. It's not it's not important to me. What's more important to me is enjoying the game. I don't want to spend an extra 15, 20 hours in a game past the time that I've beat it, and I'm no longer enjoying it, and all I'm doing now is running around trying to find feathers or something silly like that to complete the game. No, that's not for me. I'm sorry. But getting back to this, though, with cosmetics and all that, we've been trained throughout the development of gaming and as it's evolved and all that to do the side quests and to collect all the collectibles and all that to get the bonuses. Sometimes you get extras for it. You'll get a cool thing you can put in your base, or you'll get a neat hairstyle that you can wear, or a new set of armor, or a weapon skin, or whatever for doing these things. And that's fun and that's cool and all that. But now that they're locking a lot of this behind microtransactions, which is exactly what Warhammer 4K is doing here. It's microtransactions, just not for game-changing stuff. You don't have to get it to play, but we're so conditioned to do it that you want it, right? And a lot of players are going to want these things, and they're going to spend the money for it. It might be $3 here, might be $5 there, might be $8. I don't know how much their microtransactions are going to cost for cosmetics. I know Diablo 4 was absolutely ridiculous. I've seen games that offer them for $1 or $2, which is, that's not bad. If you put out a $2 skin, that's pretty cool, and you get 1 million players to buy it. Well, good for you, man. You made $2 million off of a little skin. God bless you. Those numbers don't exist, I'm sure, but I'm just saying. But a $28 skin, how many people are going to fork out $28 for a skin? And it's not like it's even like a third-person game. It's a top-down isometric game. You don't even see yourself that well, right? And you're going to spend $28 for something you really can't see that well. That's weird. Third-person game, I could see it, especially if, I could see that having more appeal. But still, $28 is absolutely stupid for a skin. So I'm hoping that Warhammer doesn't go that direction looking for their skins. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. But according to the blog post, the content of the game has been locked for a while now, and we're in the final stages of game production. Most of our efforts are currently focused on debugging and polishing to pass the final certification steps. We want to deliver the cleanest possible experience at launch, and the team is fully focused on it. The core game features a gripping narrative that follows fan favorite Lieutenant Titus, powerfully portrayed by actor Clive Standen. After you get reinstated as a Space Marine, embody the superhuman skill and brutality of the greatest of the Emperor's warriors, unleash deadly abilities, and an arsenal of devastating weaponry to obliterate the relentless Tyranid hordes. The game was previously expected to arrive in the winter of 2023, but was delayed to the second half of 2024 back in November 2023, with Focus Entertainment detailing in a press release that the game is now poised to ship in the second half of 2024 to provide the time needed to properly polish the game and to ensure the best possible experience. Focus Entertainment is committed to releasing a game that is of the highest quality and that exceeds the expectations of the countless fans of the franchise. Good luck with that. No one ever exceeds the freaking expectations. Warhammer 4K Space Marine 2 is expected to arrive on September 9th, 2024 to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Back in November 2023, the game had already accumulated over 1 million wish lists to date. Yikes. Yeah, so what do you guys think of that? Are those microtransactions or not? I mean, they are. There's really no arguing that. It's, it's a season pass to get you that. I mean, again, it's a semantic argument at best. Say what they will. They're going to have microtransactions, but they're not being dirty about it, at least. But just be honest. Be like, yeah, we have microtransactions. They're purely cosmetic. I'd respect you a little bit more for that. But we're going to talk about a little bit more now. Warhammer 4K also has a TV show coming out, and I believe it's coming to Amazon. And there was a little while back, back in April, actually, a month or so ago, there was some hoopla over this thing. And I never really talked about it because I'm not much of a Warhammer 4K guy, but I figured with the game coming out now and the TV show, we'll kind of double dip here. But former Epic Games executive suggests Amazon tank Warhammer with wokeness in order to purchase Games Workshop on the cheap. Alexei Sevchenko suggested that, right? He suggests if you fill it with wokeness, the company's stock price will tank, and then they can buy the company on the cheap. Now, what does this say? Is this is an admission from right here inside the industry that if you get woke, you go broke, right? I mean, that's what this is doing here. I don't know what Oleski normally thinks about in gaming and all that. I don't know which side of the culture war he's on, if any side, or if he's just thinking purely from a financial aspect here. Like this is the way it goes. This is what's going to happen. I don't know, but it's kind of filthy. But what he says is, if Amazon, Warhammer, if I was Amazon, I would continue applying pressure with TV series for lore changes, dismantle GW relationships with the fan base, drop their price and just buy them pennies on the dollar, and then launch TV faithful to lore. Just saying. So Games Workshop. Wow. So yeah, I mean that's awful. That is really, really awful. Not a good thing to say. Oleski, it's makes good business sense, but it doesn't sound ethical at all. Anyway, Savchenko's comments come in the wake of Games Workshop retconning their Adeptus Custodes faction with a new female custodian and then gaslighting Warhammer hobbyists and enthusiasts by claiming it was not a retcon, that there had always been female custodes. Custodes? Whatever. The retcon arrives in the upcoming Codex Adeptus Custodes that goes on sale to the public later this month, so it should already be out there. However, excerpts from the Codex reveal a new female custodian. One reads, Custodian Calades Tarvalia Kesh stood upon the bridge of a Cobra-class destroyer named Vigilant Flame. The warship belonged to the mighty Battlefleet Solar. She lingered in the shadows at the back of the bridge, positioned at a spot where she could observe the actions of every crew member, be they in the instrumentation pits, at the armament shrines, or in the case of Shipmaster Lethwick, stood ramrod straight before his command throne. There's a little bit more here, and I'll be linking to this and the other story down below. And then Warhammer, they get their backlash from the players. There's no women custodians, and again, that's not misogyny. That's just people that enjoy a game. They have invested themselves in this game for years. They play it, and then you just go ahead and make a arbitrary change like this, and it pisses people off, especially if you're not honest about it. And you just kind of like, no, since the first of the 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians. So that's crazy. So, got to lean on Grums again. Good old Mark Kern. And he makes it clear that the Adeptus Custodes were an all-male organization. An excerpt from the Rogue Trader rules in 1987. That's how far back this goes. And we'll pull it up here. The Adeptus Custodes are the Emperor's inner guard and much stronger and better in every way than the Space Marines, introduced in the Rogue Trader rules in 1987 as men from the very start. And he goes on here, that's the Emperor's inner guard, members who are privileged, blah, 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 receiving and recording his directions. These men never leave Earth and only rarely leave the Imperial Palace. So let's go back to 1987 there. He's also sharing excerpts from 2017 and 2018 that refer to them as the Brotherhood of Demigods to make it clear they were recruited from the sons of nobles. One excerpt reads, "It is known all custodians begin their lives as the infant sons of the noble houses of Terra. It is a mark of incredible prestige to surrender one's child to this most glorious of callings within the Imperium, and many notable clans amongst the Terran aristocracy have willingly given up almost entire generations of newborn sons to earn it." I mean, how many times do we have to say this word? Sons, men, boys, whatever. The retcon and subsequent gaslighting resulted in numerous Warhammer players, hobbyists, and enthusiasts announcing they've canceled their Warhammer Plus subscriptions and will boycott Games Workshop going forward. One shared a screenshot of him canceling his Warhammer Plus subscription and wrote, "Kiss my ass, GW, not another penny." And, unfortunately, this is what you have to do if you're in gaming in any way, shape, or form, and they move in and they start to lie to you and they try to start to push all this DEI stuff in here. And I know, made it this far into the video without saying those 3 letters, but here it is at work again. We can't just let the men be the custodians. We have to allow women in there now. And I'm sure it's only going to get worse. There'll probably be gay men in it next time and so forth and so on. There's a lot more to this article, but I think I've got the point of it to you guys here. Remember, it's a culture war out there, guys. The only way to fight back is to fight back with your wallet. So if you don't like what's going on out there, don't support the companies that are doing it. Don't buy their games. Don't support them in any way, shape, or form. If they put out trailers for new games, give it a dislike. Go into the comments. Tell them what you really think about it. Tag them on Twitter or whatever, social media. Let them know what you're thinking about their next game and the changes they're making to it, and how you feel about it, and how you won't be supporting them moving forward. If enough people do that, it will stop eventually. Money will talk. Money will talk. Up until now, it's been a very vocal minority of people, and they're just a bunch of screeching banshees, the biggest, loudest of the lot, and they're the ones that are winning because of that right now, because they're loud, not because they're right, but because they're loud. So yeah, we need to really push back against this, guys. If you enjoyed this video at all, please leave a like on it down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to ring that bell for notifications. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.